Listen, Manchester City, Aguero, did you shed a tear the other night?
Yeah, I was gutted. I was gutted. I think it was a natural end. He's given so much to the football club. Amazing stats. You know, you're talking about goals per minute. He's up there right on the pedestal on his own. Top goals for Manchester City. Probably been, for me, Manchester City's best ever player. And it'd be nice, it'd be lovely. I mean, it doesn't always have the Hollywood ending, but it would be nice if he could walk away with the quadruple or even the Champions League and the Premier League. That would be amazing finale to his career at Manchester City.
So what's going to happen now? I mean, he goes. You want Erling Haaland, don't you? You said to me this morning. You and I were talking about it. You'd love Haaland to go there.
Listen, I think Harry Kane. He's obviously a proven top goal scorer. World star, you know, he's done it. He's so good at what he does. But I think you look at his age, you look at the injuries that he's had, and I think with Manchester City, you look at Aguero towards the back end of his career at Manchester City, he had a lot of injuries. Now I think if you go and buy another player in that same position who's also had a lot of injury past, I think you're asking for trouble. I just feel it's a more exciting proposition if you get Erling Haaland in at Manchester City.
Well, the thing is, Simon, that your friend and mine, Mino Raiola, represents Haaland. Guardiola and Raiola, like Simon Jordan and Raiola, like Sir Alex and Raiola, don't really see eye to eye. Should a potential deal really be sacrificed because of strained personal relationships? Now, Raiola's been speaking. He speaks to you and I now and again. He speaks to me when you're not on, but he speaks to me now and again. And on his relationship or otherwise with Pep Guardiola, Raiola said this week, I've closed the book already on this a long time ago. Everybody knows what I think of him personally, and he can say what he thinks of me personally. For the rest, I think he's a great trainer. But that's how it is. I will not shut up for anybody. I'll give my opinion. I think that is my right. I get the impression it's going to be very much determined, wherever Haaland goes, is totally determined by the strength or otherwise of the relationship that Raiola has with that manager. And
more for the player then.
Raiola does not get on with Pep. He never got on with...
Player. What's it got to do with the agent? Who's this about? What does the agent play? Does he score goals? Does he contribute to the well-being of the team's performance? No. He sits there with his hand out. So with the greatest respect in the world, what has it got to... If Erling Haaland wants to determine his career by where his agent will move into him, more for him. Good luck with your life. I hope it works out well for you. If the best career move for that boy is to pay for the best coach in the world, that should be the only consideration. The economics of it will take care of itself. He hasn't got to deal with Guardiola. He can deal with the owners of Man City, because they're the ones that are going to write his nasty little sweaty mitt a cheque. It's really about what happens with the player, and if the player wants to cede the control of his career for someone like this, good luck to him.
Did you ever not see a deal through, Simon, in business because you had a strained personal relationship with that individual?
Wretched individuals like Paul Stratford would break every single deal he walked into a room to do, unless you gave him precisely what you want. It's a binary choice. Give me what I want, exactly what I want. There'll be no compromise. It's what I want. And by the way, then pay me on top of it. Otherwise, you don't do a deal. That's the majority of agents. There are a few in the middle that don't do this. Raiola is far too influential, far too important in his own mind. And more people like Alex Ferguson, more people like Pep Guardiola need to create downward pressure on these bottom feeders. And then you'll see their place in football being really re-established where they are. They're intermediaries. They are not the end game. Too much of it.
You see, anyway, what we do know about Raiola is he's never backward and coming forward. On Sir Alex, he says, when Ferguson criticised me, that was my biggest compliment anyone could give me. Ferguson is used to people coming in and saying, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir. Now, this is the way that Raiola looks at things. On FIFA, he does say, I will fight for the rights of the players. He says, I will not accept that they are my boss, FIFA. And he says, I will not accept that they want to regulate things in a way that's not logical, not honest, and against my principles. Whether you like it or not, Simon, he's powerful.
But that's not about players. You've phrased that as if it's about the player. That's about FIFA regulating the agent. What's that got to do with a player? It's about FIFA turning around and saying, right, enough of you now, enough of the Wild West, enough of tens and tens and tens and tens and hundreds of millions going out of the game. Enough of that now. Let's have a little bit more control over what you do and don't do. Let's get rid of some of the divisive influences that you bring to football. Let's put it inside a regulated environment, because quite frankly, why it isn't regulated is beyond the wit of man. The more money that's gone into the game, the less regulation. People like Mino Raiola have a place in football. Of course they do. Agents are there to represent their players. But he's not talking about his players there. He's talking about fighting FIFA for his end game, not for his players' end game. We all know where the money goes. We all know that 90% of the money going into football goes to players. We've all accepted that, right or wrong. But why are we talking about him? And if Man City want him, and if Man City are going to write this, if someone walks up to this individual and says, "I'll tell you what, I'll pay 150 million for Erling Haaland, and I'll give you 50 million pound on top," he'll be there quicker than a quick thing from Quickland.
He's in the mood, you can tell.
Oh, yeah.
He's in the mood, Trevor. The thing is, Mino doesn't forget, but Pep doesn't forget either. But I mean, the spat between the two is a long-running one, Trevor. It goes back to a big fallout about Zlatan Ibrahimovic, who is represented by Mino Raiola. Yeah. If you want Haaland at City, Trev, whether Simon likes it or not, whether I like it or not, whatever, got to go through Raiola to get him.
Possibly, if Erling Haaland's contract's long with Raiola, because if I was Erling Haaland and I wanted to go to Manchester City and it wasn't going to happen
2 years, Trev.
because of
it can only
my
be 2 years, can't it?
Yeah, exactly. So he might be 1 year through that anyway. He might be coming towards the end, but it'd be an ultimatum to my agent: make this deal happen, or else I'm going to get rid of you. Simple as that. I think the catalyst, as you said, Ibrahimovic, Pogba as well, Mkhitaryan, they're three maverick players. Three players that play off the cuff a little bit. Three players that have that creativity. Pep doesn't like that in his shape, in his formation. He allows it in certain areas, but he's so pedantic about how he sets his team up, and they have exact instructions and roles for the team.
Yeah.
It's all about the team. So it's understandable why there was a problem between them players and Pep Guardiola. But
what about Silva?
David Silva.
Yeah, what about him? He was a player that was afforded large amount of freedom because of his innate ability.
I don't think so.
No?
No. Okay. I think David Silva, when you actually look at the detail of his game, I mean, I've watched him very closely because he's one of my favourite players.
Of course.
And the work rate off the ball that he has, that coincides with Pep's philosophy. Press, the transition, the immediate reaction to go and win the ball back. One goes, we all go in behind him. Obviously on the ball, he's so eye-catching, he's so talented. But I think he bought into Pep's philosophy and his shape in and out of possession. You know, he might look like he's getting in pockets. That might have been his job as a number 10, or just playing him behind the central centre forward.
You see, for Haaland, I think, and we're heading to a break, but I just think, Trevor, with Mino at the helm and Haaland's ability, I think what happened was Zlatan. You know, if you're looking for Haaland to go long-term to Manchester City, which you quite rightly would be looking for, Trevor,
it's exciting.
You look at Zlatan, as guided by Mino in his career. Zlatan went from Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, Milan, PSG, Man United, LA Galaxy, Milan.
Because he's talented.
But he bounced around.
Yeah.
Is Haaland going to be a long time anywhere at one club?
Yeah, well,
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. And again, agents, what are they for? Are they for themselves, or are they to get the player to have the
know the answers to that.
Best and most successful career? I think agents need regulating, as Simon said. For
what
sure.
do they need, Simon?
Oh, castrating for a start.
Now, Trevor, this is new and you're going to enjoy this because Trevor Sinclair, welcome to our viewers on YouTube, Facebook and Twitter. If you didn't know already, the show is now being streamed live on a daily basis. If you want to watch Simon Jordan in full flow or Trevor Sinclair in full flow, then you can. Head over to the official talkSPORT channel on all of those platforms.